You may be seated. Welcome into the Sunday Smash on a Monday, which will also double as the podcast on Tuesday for Wake Up Warchant, which is Corey Clark and myself. I'm Aslan Hajavani. Thanks for being here on this Monday evening, 7 p.m. live here on YouTube. Post your questions in the sidebar. We'll pop them up as need be, kick them around, talk about them, discuss it. No sponsor reads. This show by the people, for the people. Corey Clark, how are you, man?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. I'm trying to get my bearings here. A Monday night where I'm supposed to be getting smashed. That's not my normal bag, but I'll do my best. I'll do my best.
Is that a Tommy Boy reference shirt? Is that Callahan Auto Parts? Look at that.
Good eye, Aslan. You're doing it. You're doing it. Good work, buddy.
Yeah, I know a couple pop culture things here and there.
Yeah, there you go.
Things. So we'll be taking your questions all night long, all evening long here on YouTube. We'll kick around some discussion ourselves as well. Corey, you penned quite a great column, I thought, over on warchant.com, the Ultimate Seminoles Sports Source, which, by the way, if you get the thumbs up button, folks, that'd be awesome. Cost you nothing. No one will track you, I promise. It just simply lets YouTube know, like, hey, this video is kind of cool. Maybe we should share with other like-minded people, and then we all get friends. That's how the way life works these days. You hit a little button. So do that. But you wrote a column that's over on warchant.com, just kind of about, I don't know, would we call it silver linings or just kind of the way life works? Unfortunately, sometimes, even us Florida State fans have to feel heartbreak in something as storied as our softball program here in recent years.
Yeah, I just thought that with that softball team, it was it reminded me in a way of when I think it was J.D. Drew's last season when Monday Hangover. That's a good one, Eric. When they were a top 3-4 team in the nation, and then they lost to Auburn in that regional where David Ross hit the walk-off because, of course, Florida State was the visiting team. That's how long we've been doing this, folks. Florida State was the visiting team at Hauser, and they lost on a walk-off, and then Tim Hudson beat them in the elimination game, which is nice to have Hudson as your go-to guy in an elimination game. So that team had World Series aspirations. It had had a great season. That kid was a magical player, and then it ended really, I know they fought back and got to the elimination game, but it ended on that David Ross walk-off. And it just felt like that. Like it felt in your own park, losing like that. It was, I wrote in the column that I think it had to be more painful than even last year. Even though you were, 6 outs away from a national championship, you still got there. You still had all those magical moments on national TV with all those wins. You sent all those other girls home crying. And you would accomplish something by getting to Oklahoma City and getting to the national championship series. And in this one, it just felt so you just felt so shorted because you'd had such a great season. And it's the postseason, man. What if anything can predict postseason success? Nothing. Like this was a team that was experienced, had a lot of postseason success last year, won a lot of close games this year, was battle tested, was hungry because they weren't, a national champion. And it didn't matter. They just, they had a bad day. And it's like, man, those last 4 months, all down the drain for one bad afternoon. And that's the reality of postseason, man. The Phoenix Suns were the best team in the NBA all season long. They get embarrassed in a game 7 at home. So, they fell short of their goals. This Florida State softball team fell short of its goals. But we still got baseball, man. We still got track. I haven't checked with the women's golf. Let me do that real quick while you say something.
Okay. Yeah, well said. A young Aslan Hajavandi had to deal with the heartbreak of the Pittsburgh Penguins back in 1993. They were going for a three-peat in hockey.
Oh, that must have been a dagger. You had only won 2 in a row? Yeah. Golly, man, that's tough.
They had won the President's Trophy, which is given to the team with the best record in the regular season in the NHL. They had set a record for the longest winning streak in NHL history. And then they draw like the 7th seed in New York Islanders in the second round, go to game 7 at home. They're down 2-0 with like 4 minutes left in the third. They tie it up, go to overtime. And then David Volek, who just an absolutely inconsequential hockey player in the grand scheme of things, scores a game-winning goal. And it was just so deflating. It was like, man, I would have, just let us get to the Stanley Cup again, at least. Let's defend this properly instead of losing on our home ice to a 7 seed. And that's the thing, like Mississippi State, like not to take anything away from them, but that didn't strike me as like a very superior. They weren't a superior talented team. It's just,
no,
that's the way things, that's the breaks, the breaks, kids.
Yeah.
Right. Them the breaks.
Yep. So I just checked. The women's golf team is they're trying to make the final 8. And if you make the top 8 of this national tournament that they're in, they get to match play, which I believe starts tomorrow. And right now they are at plus 27, which is good for 6th place. These are combined scores over a 4-day event. They're plus 4 for today. They are right now 5 shots clear of what they need to be clear to get into match play tomorrow. But they still have they're between the 15th and the 17th holes. They're the 5 players that are playing. So there's still some bogey opportunities out there. So if they can keep it together, big if with the way Florida State sports has been going lately, but if they can keep it together, they should advance to the match play, which would be cool, man. They're in the quarterfinals and they're in the final 8. And then if they win 3 matches, they're the national champions.
I was trying to pull it up here. I'm like, hey, we got there we go. Aslan figured it out. Showed some initiative.
Well, golf stat. Did you go to golf stat?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, if you go to golf stat, you can show the leader.
I went to ncday.com and then it kicked me to this website, which I guess does say golf stat.
Yeah, that's golf stat. So there you go, right there.
There you go. There's the leaderboard in visual form, everybody. All right, so they're on the right side of that little blue line in the middle. You want to be above that, and they are.
Right.
That's a good little lead. 3 shots. I mean, 5 shots on 9th place who jump them. So knock on wood.
Yeah, as long as they can stay in front of USC, who's on the course with them, as long as they can do that, they should be in good shape. USC and Arizona State. So we'll see.
Yeah, take that, Lincoln Riley, huh? Yeah.
I feel like last year they were in this very same position and lost it on the last hole, I want to say. So I'm not. Hopefully that won't happen this time, but I believe that's what happened last year with this team.
Yeah. Ed Lemix points out that was not a great weekend for Florida State. Not as great as we thought it was going to be, Ed. But again, baseball's still alive. We talked about golf still alive. Got a couple folks in track going to regionals this week, and
you got like 30 of them.
Yeah, so it can't get all of them, but hey, you can always get the Luna Coffee over at thelunacoffee.com.
Amen. Amen.
The first post of the day here was from William McMillan a few minutes ago, asking, did we sign the offensive tackle from Charlotte yet? No, but he is here. Shout out to Miss Silver Chief Webb. I think that's her name on warchant.com. She actually bumped into him at the Moore Center this morning and posted on the premium recruiting board at warchant.com. Like, yeah, I can confirm he's actually here because Michael posted at 2 a.m. like, hey, I'm hearing he's going to be in town on Monday. We'll let you know how it goes. But she confirmed it. So,
and that's not his first time here, right?
I'm not 100% sure on that. I should probably know that.
I feel like he's been here before. I want to say I could be wrong, but I thought he had been here before. But either way, it's a very good sign that that he's on campus, especially, what are we, May 23rd? That's a very good sign. These people, I mean, the next semester starts pretty soon. They're going to want to wrap this up pretty soon.
Yeah. So D'mitri Emmanuel is the young man. He's from North Carolina. I guess apparently he might be a Londoner. Apparently, I think he might have moved over here, emigrated with his family.
Oh, like Menelik Watson. They have a good man there. There you go. You got a strong history of a London offensive tackles doing well at Florida State and beyond.
Yeah, that's what people were talking about. So he's been playing. He's played all across the line. He's played at tackle. He's played on the interior. So I don't know where he would project for Florida State at this particular instance, but at least that gives you kind of some flexibility. Again, man,
and depth, depth you can count on, I think.
Yeah, but I would like difference makers versus depth. But again, there's not a lot out there right now. And, I think Jeff mentioned it on the Smash a few weeks ago about not taking just to take. So
I don't know if that's just a take, man. Like if you need somebody that if one of your your guys goes down, you can't plug in somebody that's not ready to play and is going to get, mauled. And I don't know how many of those guys are on that roster right now that just wouldn't go in and get beat routinely on the offensive line. Not the starting 5, but the next 5. There might be 2 of those guys that you feel okay about. Get a guy that you feel that's played some games, played a lot of games, and you feel pretty good about. They can be a solid backup. I think that's the one position you do it at, right? Don't you think? Yeah, that's like that one, and maybe both lines of scrimmage. Man, you're always going to need bodies that you can count on.
Yeah, and then there was, we saw some takes just to take in the previous coaching staff. I don't think this would be that sort of perilous of a position they would find themselves in to go after this young man. But you see some of his grades right there. This past season started at left guard as well as right tackle. Even some Power 5 games there against Illinois, he started left guard. So Duke as well. Look at that. Duke pass blocked at 86. That's a nice number. Little blue tint up top there. Week number 1. So, and
Don't
obviously
like what he did against Illinois. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
pass
well,
blocking. Run blocked all right, but the pass blocking, but that looks like his only real disaster of a game.
Yeah, hey, we all have one. We all have one. So we'll see how it goes, William McMillan. But do stay connected to warchant.com. Michael Langston will let you know the latest on all things recruiting there. But it is crazy. I just, we're sitting here in the middle of May. Well, not in the middle of May, near the end of May, and just wondering and hoping for help on the offensive line. And like, when will we get to the point where we no longer have to constantly kind of keep our eyes on this? Somebody over at the tribal council is saying, like, I'll know we're back when we're not in this situation where we're looking at the portal in the middle of May, end of May, looking at group of 5 schools to maybe pluck somebody to help us out.
I feel like the 5-7 record is a pretty good indicator you're not back either, though, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'll pull it up here. Willie Old Knoll. We aren't. He'll say, I'll know we're back when we aren't trying to get a transfer offensive lineman every week of the year. Maybe one day we'll have enough able bodies to make it through a spring, much less a real season. Maybe one day. What's crazy is at Florida State right now, I don't know where it's up with Cam, but like the post Cam Irving, that is, but the post title run little mini spurt there, man, they got 3 dudes who played offensive line here at some point that are in the league right now. Derek Kelly, shout out Gadsden County or Havana. I forgot where he went to high school at. I think Gadsden County. Derek Kelly's in the league. Josh Ball's in the league, and so is Landon Dickerson. So, like, it wasn't all that long ago that we still had some dudes around here. Now, they didn't play together all that much. It was touch and go for them. But, man, wouldn't it be nice for us to sit back retrospectively, Corey? How far are we away from, like, laughing at this sort of 2 years that 3 years, 4 years maybe, that we've had to live with, where, offensive linemen who are not really welcome at their previous school are our saviors? Like, we'll be able to laugh at this someday soon, hopefully, right?
Yeah, man. I not anytime soon, though, I wouldn't think. Well, nobody's going to be laughing about this last 4-year run, maybe ever. I still don't really laugh about the lost decade. Bothers me still. So I feel like this 5-year stretch, we'll always just shake our heads about it. And hopefully it's just a 5-year stretch and not a 10-year stretch. But I think we'll always be shaking our heads and kind of grimacing about the memories of since 2017.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Bobby Hart's in there too. Bobby Hart's still making money.
Yeah.
I think he's made like $8 or $10 million playing football, man. Good for him.
Yeah, I like the way Kanai Charlton's built. I like his disposition, obviously. He seems like a really nice young man. We'll see what Julian Armella's got. But, man, it would be nice to see. I mean, it would be nice to see a guy like Bryson Estes or, Lloyd Willis step up, or Rod Orr. I mean, I think that's why we are where we are right now. I think guys like Lloyd Willis, maybe Rod Orr, maybe not as urgently expected to step up, but those guys are physically built. They seem to have the tools to be able to kind of jump in there and provide depth and help out this team in the offensive line, but none of them really emerged in the spring, which is probably the one thing that we try to focus on the positive over on warchant.com and on the Sunday Smash and all of our properties. Jeff Cameron Show, Seminole Headlines, which is tomorrow, 1 to 3 o'clock. Wake Up Warchant as well. It's astonishing that no one stepped up in the spring, and I don't really think we really harped on it enough. I think, like they point out, like Lloyd Willis needed to take a step up in the spring. The fact that they're going after a guy from a group of 5 school at this point kind of shows you that guys that they were hoping would step up did not, and that's a bummer, man.
Bobby Hart I was wrong. He's made $17 million, almost to the dollar, playing football. So that's cool. He's with the Bills right now. He was with the Bills in 2021, but he only made $28,000. So he must not have gotten. He clearly wasn't getting paid a lot last year. He must have been on the practice squad. And if he makes the team this year, he'll make 1.8. So good for him, man. Yeah. He was 16 when he got here. But yeah, going back to those were the glory days. Going back to where we are now with this team and with this offensive line. Look, again, there is a jump that can be made between March and August. In fact, I would wager a bigger jump is made between March and August than between November and March. You're going through offseason. You know what I'm talking about? Like getting bigger, getting stronger. That's what this is. There's not the fourth quarter drills. Is that what we call them? What do we call those things?
Tour of duty.
Tour of duty. Sorry, I get them all confused. You're not doing that. You would hope an offensive lineman's sole objective over the next 5 months, or from the end of spring practice, really from the start of spring practice on, is to get bigger and get stronger and get better. And bigger and stronger usually make you better. So hopefully there will be a jump with some of these guys, but nothing is proven. And yeah, I don't think anything was proven with the offensive line, but I also don't think it was a sieve. I don't think it was an abomination. I think, look, man, was it last year?
Well, in practice it was. Remember, man, we kind of bit our tongue on a lot of programming around here.
No, I'm saying in the games. Did you feel that offensive line was an abomination like previous years?
No, but they had a really bad – I mean, maybe that goes to your point about the steps that are made, the growth that can be made, because the offensive line did not look good in preseason camp last year. I mean, Jordan Travis and Mackenzie Milton were running for their lives the entire time, busted plays. I mean, they just couldn't get anything off. But then they played serviceable. They were adequate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were serviceable last year, and they should be better because they brought in 2 other guys, and Devontae Love-Taylor and Maurice Smith at the end of the year could not play. Maurice Smith tried to play, but he couldn't. And Devontae Love-Taylor, I think at the end, didn't even try to play, but he clearly wasn't himself. So you will be better on the offensive line if you stay healthy with that first 5 or 6. But again, that's a huge if, as always.
Get down or lay down. Kyle, formerly of Colorado, soon to be North Carolina. Congrats again. He's moving to North Carolina. I think he said he bought his house, and I just got to pack everything up and move it. Nice. That's the easy part. With this 25-player limit removal being in effect, how aggressive will Coach Norvell be in nudging underperforming players towards the portal so he can make room for more transfers? Because, yeah, that's one of the things that's gone into effect, right? The 25 limit, for at least for the next 2 years, to catch up with COVID. That's the reason they're giving. There's no longer going to be that cap on 25. So you can, whatever you jettison, you can bring in. So will there be more? I mean, I think they've got rid of most of everybody. Maybe there's 1 or 2 guys that could be grad transfers that would leave after, I don't know, some of this player run stuff that they're like, all right, I'm just not fitting in here any longer. I'm going to go somewhere else and I can play instantly. But do you think there's underperforming guys that are going to get nudged out here soon?
I would think this is a better question or something we could talk about more, next in November. I think that's when the aggression has already probably happened. I think they've I don't know how many guys. I think they're second in the country, or 16? They were the last time I saw it. Yeah, and players transferring out. So he's been pretty aggressive. And I think now, they're still a pretty young team. But I think, yes, by this time, by November, certainly by the start of next spring, there'll be a lot of players that if they are not performing, will probably be told, hey, you're not performing. You might want to think about, we're not kicking you out. We're not kicking you off the team, but you might want to think about if you want to play football in your career to maybe go someplace else. But I think that, I think that's not just a Norvell thing. I think that's everybody, even the great programs. If there's I was going to say dead meat, but that's not what I'm looking for. That's not the term I'm looking for. Dead weight. Yeah. Dead meat. If there's dead weight, that's not really going to play for you. And it's clear. They'll be probably told to, explore opportunities elsewhere, but again, they can't be kicked off the team.
Shout out to our guy, James B. If being on a ventilator is considered to be alive, then yeah, we do still have baseball, with a laughing emoji. From there, we pivot to our guy in Virginia Beach, Virginia, Gator Kirk. Gator Kirk asks, who should we get as our hitting coach?
Yeah. Hey, man. By the way, I saw some baseball news, Aslan. Here's something I wanted to throw out there. So Kansas has a shortstop that's apparently incredible. He hit like 390 this year. He's projected to be the number 4 pick in the 2023 draft. His name is it's a Hawaiian island, I think.
I'm gonna find it.
It's like Oahu or it's not Maui. What is his name? I just saw it. I'd never heard of him until today. I think Aaron Fitt from Baseball America or Division I Baseball, one of those places, tweeted about him. But he entered the transfer portal.
Maui Ahuna.
There you go. What's his name?
Maui Ahuna.
Oh, I was right. Okay, Maui Ahuna. You can guess what state he's from. It's crazy that he ended up at Kansas. What a story that would be. But he is projected to be like a top 5 pick, I think. And the thing I saw, top 5 or top 10 pick next year in the Major League Baseball draft. What is Meat? You said Meat's making $400K?
Correct.
Does he throw 100 to that kid in an NIL opportunity? That's all I'm saying. Think about what that kid could do for the whole team for a year.
Jordan Carrion's been okay. What are you going to do with Jordan? Make him second baseman?
You make him second base. This kid plays shortstop, or you make Jordan your third baseman, and this kid plays shortstop. But this kid comes in to play shortstop and bat leadoff, and you build everything around him. All I'm saying. But Gator Kirk, look, if they were going to hire a hitting coach, like an actual one from another program, I would go with the guy at Georgia Tech, James Ramsey. But I don't know that he would leave there because I feel like he probably thinks he's pretty set up for maybe the head gig there at some point. And he's an Atlanta kid, too. I know he's a Florida State alum, but he grew up in Atlanta.
Why don't you, I mean, come on. You have the choice between living in Tallahassee and Atlanta. You're going to be picking Tallahassee soon. So why wouldn't he come back real home?
Well, good point. Good point, buddy. Yeah, I would think he would. But, yeah, our meat gets better hitters. Get some guys that can understand what he's trying to teach. I did say that, though, Aslan, that they only struck out like 11 times or 13 times the whole weekend. They were doing that every game there for a while. So they're doing so, at least they're making contact. I thought the Florida game and the North Carolina game, the first North Carolina game, those were good baseball games where you kind of just got unlucky. You hit the ball well. You hit it hard when it mattered. You made most of the plays in the field. I thought you pitched well after the first couple innings in each. And you just lost on walk-offs. But those last two games were really ugly and really concerning, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he would give that up, man. He's not. If we had a new hitting coach, we probably would have a new head coach as well.
Probably, yes.
I did see people complaining about, just the folks that kind of parachute in around this time of year to pile on Florida State baseball not being successful enough to their standards and such, and talk about, we all knew it was going to be meat. Plus, his staff is not good. And it's like, man, Jamie Bellinger's staff is all right, man. Like Parker Messick's been developing quite nicely. They got some guys that are inconsistent but talented, in the
most
bullpen.
Teams do, right? Like most teams do.
And then Mike Metcalf, listen, man, apparently his
check
dad,
your phone real quick.
Okay. Apparently his dad, coached Connor Whitaker, and then Connor Whitaker is now here, and that's helped out. And so is Jaime Ferrer. He found Jaime Ferrer when he was scouting things for the Giants. So we shift away from baseball. Apparently, let's go back to our guy William McMillan. We have an answer for you now. Did we sign the offensive tackle from Charlotte yet? We haven't signed him, but apparently he's committed. Let me see if I can find his Twitter, but that's what we're hearing, Corey. So, D'mitri, we were just talking about you. Your ears must have been burning. Welcome to the tribe. Here we go. Yeah, he's got a tweet. He's in the photo. We're going to show it to you right now. Boom. Let's go to work, he says.
There you go.
Let's go to work.
What a nice smile.
Yeah. Look at that. And no preamble. Just let's go to work. Not like thank you to everybody. Blessed for this offer. Just like, hey, man, give me a hammer. Let's do this. So there you go. Florida State's got another transfer. This will be the 11th of this cycle, if I'm not mistaken. D'mitri Emmanuel, a offensive lineman from the University of Charlotte. Again, he started left guard and right tackle this past season. He is.
I believe he was all conference. Was he not all conference? I know people will roll their eyes about being all conference in the Sun Belt or whatever Charlotte plays in, but I believe he was at least like second team all conference for them. So yeah, man, it's depth. It might end up being much needed depth. He might end up being better than what you have. You don't know, but at least that makes the competition better, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Again, man, he plays guard, he plays tackle. I think there's going to be some sort of familiarity with what Alex Atkins wants to do. Maybe not from a play calling verbiage standpoint, but at least
he played for Atkins, right? He must have played for Atkins.
Yeah. But again, it's the Mike Norvell offense, so he's going to have to learn some of that stuff.
Well, true, right.
When it comes to what Alex Atkins wants from his offensive lineman, he's going to know. So,
yeah.
There we go, everybody. Look at that. Sunday Smash on a Monday with breaking news.
Breaking news. What about Mims? Have we heard from him? I'm going to make that joke forever. I don't care. We got to laugh. We got to laugh in this world.
No, I wonder where he's like slated for them. Because obviously he didn't feel good about where he was coming out of spring, where he apparently didn't like Stacy Searles, his offensive line coach, but now they're all honky dory. So, there we go. Let's say something. I'm just trying to get this breaking.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Trying to get some breaking news banner up in here.
Oh, okay, nice, man. I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, so there you go, everyone.
I'll have to say that he verbally committed to FSU. I'm talking out loud now. Gosh, there's so much junk in this freaking thing. I'm sorry. I'll
There you
stop
go.
talking out loud.
There you go. Stop talking, Aslan. Stop talking. So apparently he's going to wear number 70. Doesn't Florida State already have a number 70? Or is that a walk-on? I mean, you got to wear one of those numbers. It's not like you can wear number 6.
Yeah, I don't know who's got 70. I think Lloyd Willis is 71, or maybe.
Yeah, I think it might be a walk-on. So sorry, walk-on. We got the kid from Charlotte wants your number. Yeah. But hey, good for him. You get a kid from he gets one last year. This is the kind of guy I was talking about, that if you were going to get a quarterback, it would have been somebody of this ilk, somebody from a Charlotte. That there you go, Aslan. You got it on there. You couldn't keep FSU on the one line, huh? Come on, man. So, but yeah, you couldn't. But it was going to be somebody like this that had excelled at a smaller place, had played well with a lot of experience, and was okay competing. Certainly not being guaranteed a spot, not on this offensive line, not with this team, but he was okay competing. This was the kind of quarterback you were in the market for. But you got an offensive lineman.
Yeah. Were you able to find out whether or not it was an all-conference guy?
No, I wasn't looking it up. I figured one of us had to talk. We couldn't just both be staring at our screens.
Phil Steele named him all-conference USA third team after the COVID season, so that's something.
Okay.
There we go.
Conference USA, that's right. I should have known that. They're not the Sun Belt.
He got Dean's List too. He's at Dean's List. He was born in London, England, February 1st, 1999. He has a sister. He's lived in 4 countries. He's lived in England, Nigeria, Jamaica, and the States. He moved to the United States in 2012. He enjoys music and sports, and he also threw the shot put and discus in high school.
Shot put, huh? I like how you pronounce that. And he's 23. So you got an old soul. Well, an older person on the offensive line, which is good too.
Man, he would have been around here with Jimbo. He would have been hanging out with Reiser. He redshirted in 17, didn't play in 18, was third team all-conference by Phil Steele in 19. 2020, he remained third team all-conference. Then he played in 2021. So yeah, he's a super senior, 6th year.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Good, man.
That's good, man. With him and Gibbons and Caden Lyles, you got 3 really old dudes to go with the younger guys you're trying to groom and bring up. So yeah, man, that's good. That's good news for them.
Oh, look at this. Everybody's excited now. Let's go. I'm not going to shoot off the horn. It's not my program. Thank you, Ed. Ed, by the way, is the founder, creator, godfather, if you will, of these fine confections. All these blends, they're not confections. I mean, they really are, though. They're delicious. But DeLuna Coffee, DeLunaCoffee.com. Come explore their world of coffee. Get the tumbler while you're over there. Thank you, Ed. Indeed, good news. Good news. Thank you, Ed. We appreciate you, man.
I assume we're going to be seeing Ed in New Orleans. That's not far from Pensacola. He can make it over.
Oh, no, man. Yeah, he'll be hanging out with us. James B drops big bags. Big bag. James B. The B stands for big bag. $200. Come on, James.
All right, James B. I feel like you're not even going to give him an air horn for that.
No, people don't want the air horn. We won't give them the air. We got to, again, the Sunday Smash is hollowed ground. It's Irish Ophel, Tom Lang, highbrow.
Right.
I don't want to bring it out with my juvenile antics. Good evening, gentlemen. Yesterday, gut punch. I have not felt since wide right one. I saw him say that on YouTube last night. That's some trauma right there. Still, though, very proud of the softball team and the program that Coach Alameda has built. Yeah, that press conference, she's so class. She's the best.
Yep.
I hate, and I know I said I felt a lot of pain for the true softball fans, but man, those players. I was at the game. I didn't say for the press conference because I haven't covered the team all that much, and I just would have felt really weird being around that kind of sorrow and not really be able to totally empathize with it to its real core, and like leaving there. I mean, it was mostly the families. I think it was the family. I mean, there was young girls that like look up to these players as idols, like crying and sobbing and sad. And then you see the actual players distraught, and it's moms and dads, and it's just, man, there's a lot of emotion out there. And so I guess maybe not too far off there, James B. Maybe I'm sure young boys' feelings are hurt after wide right one. But hey, a few years later, what happened?
That's right. That's right. But yeah, it's it was just because it was so unexpected, and it was such a magical, it felt like a magical team. And you just felt the very least they would get a trip to Oklahoma City and get to play on that stage because they deserved it. but they didn't deserve it yesterday when it mattered most. And that's the cruelty of sports. It's also the beauty of it. And again, I'll point out, Sydney Sherrill was upset yesterday, and with good reason. Her career is over. Think of all the teams and all the players that she sent home in her career, starting in 18, a whole bunch. She eliminated, I don't know, in 18 alone, she must have eliminated 5 teams, including in a national championship game. So this is just the flip side of that coin is you're going to end, sometimes it ends in misery and it ends unexpectedly and shockingly, like LSU last year when they went on the road and beat them in Baton Rouge on a walk-off, 2 walk-offs, I think. But certainly the last game was a walk-off by a girl that didn't play much. So, yeah, that's this sport, man, and it's just sports in general. But, yeah, it was a gut punch. And mainly because that team is so cool and so fun to cheer for, and Lonnie is so cool and fun to cheer for. And you just feel really bad for her because she built a really great team that didn't get a chance to go win the ultimate ring. Well, it did. It just fell way shorter than we thought it would.
Yeah. I saw somebody wearing a Sydney Sherrill jersey. I think it was a family member, but I mean, I don't know if it was her mother or her sister, but like one of the concession workers was consoling her kind of. It was like, hey, like, you know, Sydney's a legend. And I was like, yeah, man, like this is, she did a great job here, man. But anyhow, I don't want to get sad. Thank you, James B. Thank you, Ed. You guys are awesome.
Thank you very much, James. Thank you, buddy.
Wes says he broke the news first live on Warchant about D'mitri Emmanuel. I guess he goes by Meech. I like that. Big Meech. I think that's a rapper. That's kids like. Somebody confirm that. Deny, confirm Big Meech. I think that's a rapper. Let me know, kids.
Okay. All right.
He says he broke the news first. He did post it at 7:22. Big Meech. D'mitri tweeted 7:17.
You think he was watching the show, Meech?
Probably.
And wanted to give us something to talk about?
He's like, he's like, man, he was distraught that it wasn't Ira and Jeff or Tom. He's like, all right, I'm going to make him wait then. He was ready. He had it ready at 6:59.
It's smart. Well, he's been waiting since yesterday. He wanted to commit on actual the Sunday smash, but we had softball, so we couldn't do it.
So where's your, is Vegas going to change the 7.5 over-unders after this edition?
No, this isn't a needle mover, but again, this isn't cushiony either. Like this is a guy that could really be counted on to play. He might start, he might not, but he's going to push whoever's starting. And you can't put a price tag on a 23-year-old that started, I don't know, 30 games. I mean, that's real experience.
Snaps.
Yeah, that's real experience. And it's not at the Power 5 level, but he's played Power 5 teams. And if you could get an all-conference from a lower level, that beats a lot of the guys you've been running out there in recent years, and he might beat out somebody you're bringing back. But if one of those guys goes down, which always happens, it's whether he goes down and say wherever he goes. I don't even know we have no idea where they're going to try him at, right? Could be tackle, could be guard. We don't know. But if, say, he beats out somehow Darius Washington, but then he gets hurt. Well, now Darius Washington, who has a lot of experience, comes in and you don't feel awful, or vice versa. Darius Washington beats him out. He can come in if Darius gets hurt, or he can come in if Bless Harris gets hurt. He might beat out Bless Harris. He might beat out Robert Scott. Who knows? But he's going to make the competition. He's going to make the room better for sure.
I counted 24 games that he had played in. So, and his Charlotte bio says he made 24 consecutive starts from 2019 through 2021, but he didn't. I think he missed the second part of this past season because he played in weeks 1 through 8, but then nothing after that. Okay, trying to see if he maybe sustained an injury or so, but not a lot of people reporting on the 49ers of Charlotte.
Right. 24 consecutive starts though, man. It's a big number.
Yeah, it's terrible. Apparently Miami went after him too. So
yeah, there were schools that wanted him. This wasn't like it was either he was going back to Charlotte or he's coming to Florida State. There were other schools out there that were trying to get him. It's a nice commitment, especially this late in the game. May 23rd, to get somebody to bolster your offensive line, not a star, probably not an NFL player, but a guy that can bolster your offensive line. That's good news.
Gator Kirk says Lloyd Willis is 70.
Ooh, what are we going to do there? Arm wrestle for it?
I don't know. Put him live on the show. Haven't figured out. Oh, sorry. I apologize. Derek and Tally 850 point out that Big Meech was a famous drug dealer who's currently incarcerated. Whoopsies.
So you were close. Come on, man. Get your act together over there.
I don't know, man. My ears aren't on the streets. Like,
I'll be honest, I didn't know, other than like drug cartels in other countries, I didn't know we had famous drug dealers in this country. I thought they were all, other places. So you learn something new.
Indeed. Let's see what else we got here. NIL can put a price tag on a 23-year-old offensive lineman, says Gator Kirk. I guess, right? I mean, but this is also some added exposure for him too. I mean, they'll find you in the NFL. I mean, shoot, the Green Bay Packers selected a receiver from North Dakota State in the second round to help out Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they'll find you. So, but this gives you a little bit of a better platform. But who knows? I mean, I'm sure there was some sort of Rising Spear ambassadorship, possibly. Can't confirm or deny that, but
I'm certain he's going to be. Wouldn't you think he'll probably get? I mean, he's going to get probably some sort of more NIL opportunities in Tallahassee than in Charlotte, for sure. They do not care about that football team in Charlotte. They have an actual NFL team in that city, so the dollars for sponsorship are pretty tight when it comes to the Charlotte football team. And
yeah, James B. I mean, some of these transfers do come in at times, but usually, I mean, for them, there's not an NLI. They've just got to enroll. But I mean, I know it says committed on the screen there on the graphic that, somebody made for him. I'm guessing the school did because Norvell's signature is in the top corner right there. So zoom in on it. So, but yeah, I mean, I think Summer B is coming up soon. So maybe they'll get him enrolled in time for Summer B and he can start getting involved in the player run practices, getting the strength conditioning program. Although it looks to be a pretty healthy-sized young man. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to use the wrong terminology again. But, yeah, the kid said it. The kid said it. So I'm just echoing what he said. So there we go. Derek Neal points out, come on, Corey, you've never seen the movie Blow or American Gangster? They were big American drug dealers. USA.
I have seen American Gangster. I never saw Blow.
What?
I never saw Blow. But I did see American Gangster. But I feel like I don't know that those people were known at the time, were they? Like I feel like the guy like El Chapo and obviously Escobar, those guys were known while they were in their prime. I feel like, and I can't remember what was my man's name in American Gangster. I know Denzel played him in the movie, but I cannot remember his name for the life of me.
Frank something? Is it Frank something or no?
Yes,
George Young. George Young was the guy from Blow that Johnny Depp.
Oh, okay.
George
All right.
Young, so.
Okay.
But I never heard of him until the movie.
Frank Lucas? Is that his name? Frank Lucas?
I think so.
All right. There you go. All right. There you go. You're right, Derek. I've heard of him. My bad.
By the way, Corey, thanks for I made it through the first episode of Severance, and I was like, and my friends liked it too. And I'm like, nothing makes me feel more curious about how I'm friends with my friends than when we talk about entertainment recommendations. But I'm like on episode 6 now, I think, of Severance.
It's good, isn't it? It's picking up.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. There's just some stuff that goes over my head, but I need to put my phone down and kind of focus. I usually, that's a thing. Like you look away for a second.
Dial in.
So, Trent Gibson says it was Frank Lucas. Thanks for confirming that, Trent. Appreciate you. You look awfully young to know that, but hey, whatever. Maybe that's your son.
I feel like that's his old, because that kind of looks like a dated photo, right? Like something from like a 2011 yearbook.
Okay.
So maybe he's in his what would that make him, like right around 30 now, and he just that's his avatar is his high school prom photo or yearbook picture. There we go. All right, see, okay, well I got it eventually, folks. I did, but yeah, I didn't. It wasn't off the tip of my tongue. I do remember how, and I don't know if it's true. It's in the movie, so of course it has to be true. Is that he got on the FBI's radar when his girlfriend bought him this huge mink fur coat to wear to Ali Frazier won in Madison Square Garden. And where he was sitting with that coat, they started taking pictures of him. And he got really mad at her after the fact for buying him such a extravagant coat because he kind of liked flying under the radar a little bit.
Maybe that's, that was also in the movie Goodfellas, right? After they did the Lufthansa heist. Robert De Niro's like, hey, guys, like no big purchases. Yeah. And then someone shows up with their wife with a big mink. And he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Another guy bought a car, I think. Yeah. They didn't listen.
Yeah. So there you go. There he is in a mink. There he is.
Frank Lucas. Right. See,
look at this, man. What the Sunday Smash on a Monday for the
That's Tuesday what we do, podcast. Man. And if you haven't watched that movie, go watch it. It's very good. Clearly, as I remember all the important details, like I could barely remember his name.
Trent points out that the photo is indeed super dated. He is 27 years of age.
There you go. There you go. 27. Man, what we wouldn't give, right, Aslan? To go back to 27.
Yeah. Eric Angel wants to know, Corey, when's the next Noles trivia at CP?
We're working on it, Eric. Hopefully sometime in June, we'll do another one. I guess it's going to be quarterly. It's not going to be once a month, but we'll try to give the regular trivia guy a break, and we'll definitely announce it when it's happening. I've already got some good questions lined up, and I won't make them as hard. I really hope somebody in there would get Ngoni Makusha. I mean, people love your school. The guy, it was Jesse Owens, Carl Lewis, and Ngoni Makusha that won the 100 and the long jump in the same national championship, and nobody in there knew it. But that's, he wasn't a football player. I get it. But they couldn't all be football questions.
By the way, head football coach Mike Norvell did tweet out, great day to be a Florida State Seminole, hashtag NoleFam. Just got another hashtag big man in the trenches for hashtag Tribe22. Future is bright in Tallahassee. Shades emoji, shish kebab emoji, hashtag keep climbing. So
that shish kebab emoji, man. I don't know what they're doing there.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess it's sort of Florida State-y, but yeah.
I mean, the Canes have I can't believe the Canes have their own emoji. It's incredible.
Great marketing, man. It's great marketing. They also have like 4 ESPN 30 for 30s on them.
They do. All right, back to baseball. I think there's a couple folks talking about here in the comments. Let's jump back into them. John McKnight, who wasn't all that cheery earlier, saying baseball program is a lost cause unless major changes are made, points out later on that pitching next year looks decent with Carson Montgomery, Jackson Ballmeister, Ross Dunn, and Connor Whitaker.
Yeah, it's just none of those guys are proven, are they? Like literally none of them.
Right. As a starter, yeah.
As a starter. I mean, Dunn has had his chance. Montgomery has had his chance. And it's like, man, okay, in year 3, they're going to figure it out. Like Messick figured it out his second year last year. And he was really good in COVID. He probably would end up being a starter that year too. It's just the season got cut short. So, man, they've got great arms. I mean, Bowmeister and Montgomery have sensational arms, major league arms. Dunn too, but it hadn't all come together for them. But yes, they certainly have some talent. And yeah, I mean, I assume the portal will be a big deal for them. I would think, like every college baseball team, go get that kid from Kansas and you get folks that donate to NIL money. See what you can do if that can be funneled to Lawrence. Like, imagine playing your first 2 years of college baseball in Kansas, and then you get a chance to play at Hauser. Does he have any idea how big his picture will be on that video board? He's never seen himself that big before. Maybe that's why they do it for recruits. Like, do you want to see yourself 30 feet high? Holding a bat, wearing a cowboy hat. We can do that here at Hauser. So yeah, get him on board.
Jamel King asks, how the hell Parker Messick didn't win ACC Pitcher of the Year?
I honestly think it's his last 2 starts. Yeah. Miami, that's a big series, and he lasted 2 1/3, 3 innings, something like that. Did not pitch well. And then even against Carolina, he pitched decently, not well for him, but 6 innings, 4 runs, 3 were earned, and only like 3 or 4 strikeouts. I don't know who won it. I'll be honest with you. I did see that he didn't. But yeah, man, he was fantastic all season long.
He's got 6-4 record. He's got 6-4 record. So the people that I don't know, I guess wins aren't a pitching stat either, but maybe that kind of didn't help his cause.
I don't think they go by wins much anymore. Honestly, I think they've evolved from using that. But yeah, maybe I don't know who beat him out. But
Wake Forest sophomore righty Rhett Lauder. Let's see if we can pull up Rhett's stats.
Yeah, get Rhett's stats real quick. So Messick made first team. I assume he was the only one, right, from Florida State that made first team. And then I know Ferrer made like the all freshman team, which is a nice accomplishment, and he deserved it. He's good. He's been, I guess you'd say he's been the best offensive player, hadn't he, Aslan, for the totality of the season?
Yeah.
He's been good.
Let's break it down. Oh, geez. Are you guys all there still? All right. Thought I lost you guys. All right. Messick, how many? 88 innings, 136 strikeouts. The Lauder kid, 88 innings and 94 strikeouts. So 2.45 ERA.
And Messick was like 2.9 something.
I think so. Let me see here. 8. So he allowed 20 extra base hits, the guy from Wake Forest. Messick, 24.
Yep.
Messick was 3.05 as ERA.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like when you look at that, the kid he pitched the same amount of innings and had a ERA that was half a run lower. I don't think you can argue with it. Like, yeah, strikeouts. Messick had more dominant nights, and he needed to because Florida State would give him 2 runs of support a game, or 3 or 4 sometimes. Wake Forest, meanwhile, led the ACC in scoring and was one top 10 in the country. So that kid probably pitched with maybe 4 or 5 run leads that Messick never got to experience. But yeah, and it also probably, if you're voting and you're like, okay, well, that kid won it last year, it's even. It's 50-50. I'll go with the kid that hasn't won it before, maybe. I don't know. I would have voted for Messick, though, because I know how important he was to this team. Like, he's the reason they're going to be in a regional. He is the main reason. You could always say him and Crowell.
Look at this kid, man. Look at
That's the kid?
Look at that hair, man.
Mitch
I got hair envy.
Confused.
Hair envy like a mug, man. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Some lettuce. Good for him. Keep it red. Don't ever cut it, man.
You have to be good if you're going to wear your hair like that, right? You can't be a slappy and have a haircut like that. It's like the ones that wear the gold shoes and stuff. You better be good if you're wearing gold shoes.
Gator Kirk with some trivia for you, Corey Clark. It's posted on the screen. Let me get back to the Mike Norvell tweet so everybody can soak it in. What year did Florida State have 3 different helmets that the football team wore?
No idea. 70? The one with the state, one with state and the outline of the state of Florida. In 2009, they wore 2, right? Because they had the black ones in the Maryland game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a good one, Gator Kirk. Hey, if anybody comes out to the next Warchant trivia, this will be one of the questions.
I feel like we got to get the guys from Noles Fan on here at some point. Have them talk about stuff.
Yeah,
I figure like there'd be a page dedicated to that maybe on the site. Can't find it though. William Flim says 2008, but it was 9 though, right? 9 was when they wore the funky jersey versus Maryland with those.
Yeah, that was Bowden's. That was Bowden's last year, but it might have been 2008. Might be the right answer. I don't know. I don't remember them wearing a bunch of. They also have the garnet helmet. Maybe that was the one they wore against Maryland. It's all falling apart, folks. I don't remember anything anymore. I could still tell you some scores from the 87 season, but stuff that happened in the last 10 or 15 years, no chance.
Oh, man. All right. Again, if you're just joining us, Timmy just joined in here saying that we just landed the Charlotte transfer offensive lineman, which, 7:15 or so. So it's been about 35 minutes of us regaling in that edition. You can always rewind, scrub forward, backwards, right here on YouTube as we do the show. I kind of do want to hop into the 1987 team and just start asking Corey random questions.
Don't do that. Come on. Nobody wants to hear that.
Well, yeah, everyone wants to hear from Corey, man. Like, I'm not going to a roster question. That'd be too vague. That'd be too mean. Who was the first game of the season in 87?
Texas Tech.
Correct.
40-14.
Oh, you had to be greedy. 40-16.
Oh, is it I don't know if it was a safety or a couple field goals. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they missed an extra point.
What was the final score against Auburn that season?
34-6.
Correct.
Yeah. I did not get to go. I was in 7th grade. I was supposed to go, and then on Friday I got in trouble at school, and my dad felt really bad about it, but you got to be a parent. And even though we had been looking forward to this game for the whole season, he wouldn't let me go. And then I went over there. I'd been over there twice already earlier in my life, and I went over there, and they lost heartbreakingly. And then I went over there. I didn't get a chance to go over there that game, and they won 34-6. So good times.
How long was the touchdown catch that Michael Irvin had in 87 to put Miami ahead?
Oh,
I guess it doesn't. That's
he beat Dedrick Dodge coming over 77 yards.
73.
I knew it was a long one. I remember him streaking down the sideline. Dion wasn't on him, weirdly.
Sammy Smith over under 195 rushing yards.
What, against Miami?
Yeah.
I think he finished with like 183 or 189. He was in the 180s.
189. My
There
God.
we go. There we go.
This guy, it's incredible.
All right, that's enough. What are we doing? We're not this, guys. We all planned this. He's asked me these questions for the last 2 years.
Jamel, how many shows this week for you guys since you're doing the smash? Oh no. Well,
I feel like we'll do another at least 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll do at least another 2. We still got the Renegade Express. We got to get Iron at some point. People love hearing from him. So, but hey, you got headlines tomorrow. That'll be fun. And then we got we got Wake Up Warchant. We got all the other good stuff on this channel on YouTube.
Dale Wester, just think the women's soccer coach was offered more money than the baseball coach. Just saying.
Yes, substantially more money.
Like triple almost. Like, wasn't it going to make 7 figures?
No, but it was close. It was like high 800s, I think, or 800. And yeah. So he was going to make double what and baseball brings in money, not a ton, but it brings in money. Soccer does not, because it's a non-revenue sport and you don't typically have to pay to go to those games. So, or much anyway. So yeah. Florida State was invested. They tried.
I think we need another word. I think we need another word for non-revenue. I know Olympic is also out there, but I mean, by saying non-revenue, they charge people to come into the games, right? Like you can't just walk. Doesn't it cost money to go watch a soccer game?
Sometimes I mean, you're asking somebody that's never paid, but I know it used to be free.
Okay.
I know at softball you can pay for like really good seats. They'll put your name on it right behind home plate. You can be on TV for every game. You pay for those. I don't know if they have that in soccer, but it's hard for me to know because I've never had to pay because I'm one of the lucky folks, everyone. Yeah. Can't you tell?
Hey, I know you don't like being confrontational, Corey.
Okay. Are you bad? We're about to have a confrontation?
No. If you're Mike Martin Jr. and you have your, I'm pretty sure athletic directors have sit downs with all their coaches at the end of their seasons. Like, could he ask for a raise? Yeah. I mean, I'm saying, I don't know how he could get an extension. So, I mean, this is even going further than that. And I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about this stuff depending on how the regional works out for them. But yeah, like when you're making 400, and you're top of this conference that's got, I mean, D1's projection, they had something like 11 ACC teams.
Yeah.
And I think only maybe 6 or 7 SEC teams. So, and Meat's been talking about that, about how deep this conference is right now. Right. Or do you, I mean, you can't say anything, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Like if you're Meat, are you worried about your job and you wouldn't say that? Or would you come back and then be like, not only do I want an extension, I should get a raise.
I mean, you can try that. How would you? That won't happen. That can't happen. An extension could, but for a year or two, and then go prove it. Go go have a 41-14 season, and then come to me about a raise. That's the way that should work. That's the way it should work. I mean, look, they're what are they? 32 and 22. A decent season, an NCAA tournament season, but not exceeding expectations by any stretch, especially when you started the year with the arms you started with. So no, I don't think you go in and ask for a raise. You go earn your raise. And if he goes and has a couple really, really good seasons, I think they'll pay him, get him into the middle tier of what ACC coaches are making.
According to Gator Kirk, is 1962 when Florida State had 3 different helmets in the, I don't know, is this a trick question? He says the 62 FSU team had 3 different helmets, 1 for offense, 1 for defense, 1 for special team.
Well, that's goofy. What if you played, I mean, back then they were playing both ways and somebody had to play, so they had to have 2 helmets for every game. Each of these players had to bring in 2 helmets to the sideline.
It's a lot of money.
I'm sure there were some special teams kids that played defense and offense.
Yeah, I don't know.
They did a lot of dumb things back in the early 60s, everyone.
Be nice.
Well, they did.
All right, winding things down here. Kyle Taylor asked, where does Alex Atkins put D'mitri? Instant starter?
No, he's not. I mean, he might be an instant starter, but it's not a guaranteed things like the kid from Georgia would have been, or, Gibbons and transfers like that in the past. This is not an instant starter. It's an instant rotation guy. He could be an instant starter.
I mean, I think he's got better pedigree than Bless Harris, and we've got Bless Harris penciled in at right tackle because what? He had 15 practices ahead of this kid. I don't know if 15 practices is enough.
No,
to
I
put
mean,
you ahead of.
I'm not saying he can't be in it. I don't think we can say right now, yeah, this guy's on your starting five. He'll have to earn it in August. The Mims kid, as soon as he would have signed, it's
Okay.
like, yeah, you pencil him at tackle. This kid has to go earn it. He can be an instant starter. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think I articulated it well. He's definitely going to be a contributor, and he's instant depth. He might be good enough to be a starter, but we don't know yet. And I would guess, I mean, it's really interesting, Kyle. I don't know. I don't know what they think of Darius Washington at guard, if that's where they want him to be long term. I don't know if they think they want to move him back to tackle and then have this guy play guard. I don't know. Or if this guy's a tackle. He's played all over the line. So my guess would be he comes in to compete with Bless Harris, but that's just a guess. I don't know if that's true or not. So you'll either have a guy from Lamar or a guy from Charlotte as your starting tackle. But hey, man, the kid from Florida, from FAU or FIU, was that where DLT was from?
Yeah,
he worked out well for him before he got hurt. So maybe he's being brought in to battle Bless Harris for the starting spot.
LSU is going to have probably that. Actually, that guy, Miles Frazier, apparently didn't really stand out in spring from what I read down Baton Rouge. He was bouncing all around the place. So,
oh, really?
And that was a guy that Florida State wanted, and we were a bit bummed out to not get. All right. Kyle asks, if Corey Clark could have one play named after him, what would that play be? Trick plays.
Yeah. I would say the
fake punt versus.
You know what my play would be? Because coaches have been too dumb to do this. They're starting to get better at it. But when you have the ball at the other team's 42-yard line and you're down by 5 with 9 seconds left, don't throw a 7-yard out. So then you have a 35-yard pass with 5 seconds left. Just throw 2 Hail Marys. You got 2 chances at it. You're at the 42-yard line. If you complete a pass for 14 more yards, I can't believe that it becomes appreciably easier to throw a 28-yard touchdown pass when the whole team is in the end zone defending you. As it is now, clearly, I'm not talking about Florida State's last-second defense, but most teams. When the whole team is at the 5-yard line or the goal line, making sure that you can't get in, as it is from the 42-yard line. I assume they're both very, very hard to do. So give me 2 Hail Marys. That's the Corey Clark. 2 Hail Marys in the final 10 seconds. Don't just save it because you see it, Aslan. I've watched it 1,000 times. The team will go down the field, no timeouts. They complete a 7-yard pass to get down to the 29 with 3 seconds left or 4 seconds left. What does that last play inevitably end up being?
Yes.
You just throw it up for grabs.
Yeah.
So why not just do that twice and give yourself a couple chances at it? That's all. That's all I'm saying. But if not that, a double reverse. Because as a Florida State kid growing up in the 80s, I loved double reverses, and Bowden called them, and they were awesome. Just watching the defense lose its mind, not knowing who had the ball, if it was Jesse Hester, Darren Holloman, or whoever else.
Credible backstory calls it the Hail Corey.
There we go. Yeah, do it twice.
3rd and Clark. Kyle.
Yep. Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right. Last one. William, you would know this more than I would, Corey. Where is the best high school travel ball played in the United States? Who is the best coach with that talent?
Is that for baseball he's asking?
Yeah.
To bring them here? Look, it's great in Florida. It's really good in the Atlanta area. I mean, and I'm not biased. It just is. They have the East Cobb Complex and some other ones, Lake Point. They get really, really good travel ball players up there. But I would say California, Florida, and anywhere there's a huge metro area that's in the South that has a lot of sunshine, you're going to have great travel ball. But I think the point William's making is maybe go hire that guy. But all those places are like they're organizations that have like a head dude, but he's not the coach. He acquires the talent, not usually. And then he has a 17U coach, 2 17U coaches, a 16U coach, a 15U coach. So, it's not like basketball necessarily, but maybe it is. Who knows? I'm just talking. Maybe my kid will be on there one day, everyone. And you can, we'll be talking about Brady Clark's commitment to Charlotte.
All right, that's a wrap for us again.
Hey, update on the Lady Noles golf team, though.
Oh.
It got dicey there for a second, Aslan. They were tied. They were at plus 30, tied in 8th place, hanging on by a thread. And then apparently they had 2 players birdie coming down the stretch. So now they're in 6th place on their own. Oh, they had 3 players birdie. Look at that. It just updated. So how many? So they still got a couple players on the course probably, but they had 3 players birdie down the stretch. That's great, man. Oh, and they're done. So they're in, which is awesome. So I'm almost positive last year they were in this very same predicament, coming down to the wire, really close to finishing in the top 8. And they had a couple of they had a bogey, they had somebody else like maybe double bogey on the last hole, and they went from sort of comfortably in to out in like the span of 12 minutes. So for the same thing to be happening today in Scottsdale, Arizona, or wherever this, I think it's in Arizona, and they're feeling the pressure again. I'm sure like we can't do this again. Yeah. And they get down to plus 30. They literally like 10 minutes ago they were plus 30, tied with Georgia, barely ahead of USC, and then they get 3 birdies down the stretch to close it out. Man, that's great. Good for them, man. They must feel great about that.
Fantastic.
So they start match play tomorrow, I assume.
All right. Again, if you're just joining us, D'mitri Emmanuel from Charlotte has gone ahead and verbally committed to Florida State. Mike Norvell has also punctuated that with a tweet of his own. I did not see this earlier. Kevin Johnson says, I like to think of D'mitri as the Amarius Mims of Charlotte to make myself feel better.
Yeah, he absolutely is. I've been saying that for a while. He is the Amarius Mims of Charlotte. Great comment.
Thanks to Ed and James B. Check out DeLuna Coffee, DeLunaCoffee.com. Whatever James B does, check that out as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, James B. Thank you, Ed, man. You guys are the best. Thank you very much,
everybody.
Sincerely.
Thanks, everybody, for your questions, too. Langston is probably going to be cranking out something, him or Austin. I'm sure working on something about D'mitri Emmanuel. Again, tune in to Warchant.com for the latest on that over in the premium recruiting board. I'm sure we might maybe have another video with Ira or other people that are smarter than us talking about what they think this means for Florida State football moving forward. For everybody that helps us with this show, and for Corey and myself, we say thank you for joining us on the Sunday Smash on Monday, also your Tuesday podcast of Wake Up Warchant. For Corey, I'm Aslan. Have a great one, everybody. Let's do this again sometime soon.